So the guide I'm following, this is the day that they do...
Senpai.
The experiment in telepathy part 2, but we've already done that, and we don't need to spend time with Naoto at lunch today. Rank 8 of Naoto's social link is a very, very important one, though. It's one that I kind of set up for earlier. You probably already know what I'm referring to right now. But today we're actually spending time with Hangman. Looks like they're finally talking without him around. Okay, not perfect timing, but let's see how much we get thanks to world-class bugs. We got 3, I think, instead of 2 that we would normally get without perfect timing. Probably better to read that book earlier if you're going for the Guardian.
Oh, hi.
I don't know why, but a lot of guides don't actually go for the Fox's rank 10 until around now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we did promise that we'd take him there last time. Okay, this could be painful. You can actually suggest this, to be honest. Kinda wanna go for that.
Hey! Oh, hi.
Kingdom of Junes, I guess, and that would make Yosuke the Prince of Disappointment.
Just stop it! All right. I'm sorry.
like how Naoki and Yosuke actually got to meet here for the first time. There are, though, a lot of people who kind of wish Naoki was more than just a social link that was optional. It might have been interesting if he was part of the investigation team. Hangman is also not an arcana that you see on party members often. Yosuke could be a little insensitive at first, but
I'll see you again.
he seemed to come around pretty quickly. In the anime, they end up meeting during the camping trip. Vegetables ready to be harvested, but no one to harvest them with. Oh, at least bead melons are extremely useful. Let's see what we can plant here. I guess we can go for more eggplants, although I have quite a lot of homunculi right now. Yeah, there's that sign that Nanako made. Tonight, we actually could max out Tower. I know that Tower is ready to max, however, I'm not going to be doing that just yet, for reasons that I'll explain soon. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and read a book tonight, and we haven't actually finished Catching Bugs, I believe, so let's go ahead and do this. Like, at this point, now we've got Tower set to max and Devil is already maxed. We don't really have a lot to do at nighttime other than making models and reading books, and because we've maxed all of our social stats, it really doesn't matter that much which books we read and in what order. I want to finish all of the books that give special effects first, and then I'll move on to the stat-raising books, but the only real reason I'm reading them is for the All Books trophy. So you can feel free to fish for the Lady in White instead if you don't care about that trophy. Fishing, I feel, is overall a pretty decent use of your time at this point. And Naoki is approaching for lunch. Unfortunately, we're not spending time with him today. But we are spending time with, well, someone who's apparently his old friend, according to nighttime conversations. It's never really mentioned otherwise. And we're not actually gonna hang out with her today either. I should probably show my social link progress at this point, because we're actually pretty high with almost everything right now. So yeah, Fool and Magician and 9. Yosuke should be ready to rank up. Margaret, where I'm holding off on that for a little bit. We're going to be working on Emperor soon. Also, here's the description of Lovers maxed out on the romance route. Naoto's at rank 7. Strength is going to be at rank 8 for a little while, unfortunately. Death is 7. Temperance, we're going to be ranking that up fairly soon too. Tower's ready to max. Star is close. Moon is there. This one probably won't be maxing for a while since I'm on the music routes. And Marie should be ready to max too. So yeah, our social links are actually very, very high. I guess I should use this time to mention that if you are playing the vanilla PS2 version, we are actually quickly approaching what would be in that version your last chance to max out all of the social links. In Golden, though, you have a lot more time. Oh boy, that finally came to a head. Well, we'll see what ends up happening there. And here's that extreme close-up on Kanji's face that looks really, really awkward in the PC version with high definition.
Senpai.
And now his portrait is covering it. I like how they all try and take Yu's mind off of things. Gonna become closer soon, let's go!
Yeah.
So, on the plus side, we get to spend time with Kanji, but on the minus side, we're almost maxed with this one, which means no more my favorite social link in the game.
The other day, I went to visit Dad's grave. It's the first time I went on my own. I had a lot to tell him. How was it? Well, felt like I could finally face him. A little late, though. Dad told me something right before he died. If you're a man, you have to become strong. Felt like he was telling me I wasn't a real man. Pissed me off. So I changed my looks and pushed myself away from people. Fighting gangs, thinking I was protecting Mom, trying to catch this killer. I thought all that was how I was becoming strong. That I was really making up for all the trouble I caused. I was drunk off my power. But that wasn't it. That ain't what Dad meant. I still don't really get what being strong means, but I'm gonna start by not lying to myself. No more being scared of everyone, hiding my hobbies, staying away from people. Anytime, any place, I'm gonna bust right through as my own self. That's the way to deal with that other me in the TV world. As long as there's someone like that snot-nosed kid to accept me, I ain't afraid of nothing. Sir, it's all thanks to you.
There's really not much I can add to this. This is just amazing. This entire speech by Kanji just sums up why I love this social link so much.
Oh yeah, we're gonna put those dolls of mine up for sale at the shop.
That's about time.
They were a big hit with that kid and his mom. They called me just to say thank you. I got a kick out of that. Oh, I gotta go buy supplies. I need a jet.
He's no longer embarrassed about going to buy supplies. It's great. Something that they do mention about Kanji in the art book that, oh, well, at least this delivery person probably isn't a kidnapper. I am interested to find out what the race and brace actually does. All stats were increased by 4. Huh. It's a worse version of the paper armband that Nanako made, but that is protagonist only. Anyway, you know what? I thought that, if we just did Kanji's rank 9, let's read more of the Man series. It fits. So what I was saying about the art book is, they actually said that Kanji was intentionally designed to look so much like a stereotypical thug that it was very obvious he was overcompensating. Like with the skull shirt, the unbuttoned jacket hanging off of his back like a cape, the bleached hair. I mean, I'm sure he gave a lot of people that impression. So I think they definitely did a good job there. The whole thug thing that Kanji's going for, that really wasn't him. That was just him trying to hide from himself and trying to be manly like he thought his dad was telling him to be, but that's not what true strength is. It's funny, this is going to be a weird tangent, but the first Kingsman film was on TV recently as of recording this, and one quote I thought from that film that is apparently from Ernest Hemingway that I think actually sums up Kanji's storyline quite well is something like, there is nothing noble about being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. I just think that's a really cool quote. And I knew Late for School Guy was going to show up. There was a delay before the scene ended. I knew he was coming. I feel like we haven't actually seen you much lately, as far as the teachers of this place go. Okay then, yeah. Thanks for that. Speaking of marriage and beer, two things that Sarah Veilstein likes to talk about in Trails of Cold Steel. Actually, no. Bridal. Well, what does it sound like? It does sound like bride ale. Not really sure Japanese students would need to know that unless they were getting very deep into English. I feel embarrassed to admit this, but I actually don't really know what the difference between ale and other alcohols is. I'm not really that big on most types of alcohol. A little closer to Yosuke. We should be ready to get into rank 10. If not, I am screwed because I didn't have a matching Magician persona then, which might be bad, because the time that this guide maxes out Magician, I think, is actually really, really fitting. But, speaking of maxing things out, Kanji's approaching, that means he's ready to rank up, and we're gonna spend the day with him. And so we have to rush home to meet Kanji, and all of the supplies that he's bringing us.
Sorry for barging in like this. I thought it'd be a good place. Oh, first though, there's one more thing I figured out. Rise stopped by our store the other day. She said the dolls were cute, so I told her I made them. She said that was creepy.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, this line, I don't know if this is entirely in character for Rise, it just feels a bit mean.
Kinda stung, but I kept on showing her the other stuff I made. And in the end, she said, maybe you're an amazing guy after all.
Yeah, anyway, I don't know if this is really something Rise would do.
Pissed me off the way she said it, but that aside, I get it now. This is what he was talking about. Just been throwing in the towel all this time. Of course no one could understand me. I've been keeping my distance out of fear. So I decided that I'd do things my way, no matter how tough. But it ain't just about hanging out with guys who understand you and telling the rest to get bent. You gotta make an effort if you want people to understand you. I wasn't even trying. Not just about my hobby, but like when the police suspected me. It didn't even cross my mind to try to tell them my story. I let them think whatever they want. And because of that, you, Ma, and that kid all got dragged into it. I didn't put in the slightest effort to try and make them understand. It's easier for me to act tough. So from now on, I got 2 rules. Rule 1, be myself. Rule 2, get people to understand me. I want you to have this, Senpai. This thing's me being me. Now I can say it straight out. That other me is me.
Yeah, there's been a lot of debate over that line. Rakuten Mao means Demon King of the Sixth Heaven, and is a figure in Japanese Buddhism symbolizing the lust for power and the desire to attain worldly goals. He works to tempt Buddhists away from their path, and is sometimes considered synonymous with Mara. However, that's not what this persona is meant to represent, because Rakuten Mao is also a title that the Japanese warlord Oda Nobunaga gave himself. Although some people believe he was being sarcastic when he said that. And according to Persona 4's art book, this is who Kanji's ultimate persona is actually meant to represent. Nobunaga was one of the Sengoku or Warring States period's most successful warlords, who, after becoming leader of his clan, set out on a campaign to conquer and unify the states of Japan. And he almost succeeded until he was betrayed by one of his generals, Akechi Mitsuhide, for reasons that no one knows for sure even to this day. He was forced to commit seppuku inside the Honoji temple, which he reportedly ordered to be set on fire beforehand, and that's what the flames on this persona's design represents. One of his generals, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, eventually picked up where Nobunaga left off, leading to one of his allies, Tokugawa Ieyasu, forming the Tokugawa shogunate that would rule Japan for the next 2 centuries. Nobunaga is an interesting choice for an ultimate persona for Kanji in a few ways. Firstly, this guy gets the historical villain upgrade in Japan constantly, to the point where his title of Mao is basically the equivalent of Dark Lord in the West, the generic title for villains in pop culture. But Nobunaga is also someone who is considered quite strange in his life. He didn't seem to care for social conventions, acting rudely to nobles and politely to commoners. Being somewhat negative towards Buddhism, but dealing with foreigners openly, which was unthinkable to most Japanese leaders at the time. And using a lot of unconventional tactics on the battlefield, embracing Western firearms in particular. And I could also say that it may tie into Kanji's ambiguous sexuality, since Nobunaga had a wife, but is also generally agreed to have been in a sexual relationship with his male retainer Ranmaru. In gameplay terms, upon evolving his persona, Kanji gains +1 to all stats. If only the other party members' upgrades were that simple. In terms of resistances though, Rakuten Mao got a bit of a nerf in Golden. In the original game, he joined the likes of Chie and Yosuke's ultimate personas in having no weaknesses. He not only has a weakness now, he also doesn't gain an additional resistance like many other ultimate personas do. But if you're a fan of using Kanji, all I'll say is, don't despair just yet.
This? For reals? I get it. So I've become a little stronger, huh? You're my hero, dude. And my best bud.
Odin, Woden, Wotan, or any of the other 170 plus names you could call him. Seriously, Odin has enough names to fill an entire Wikipedia article. Literally. Is one of the most famous and revered gods of Northern European mythology. I say that because while most people call it Norse, he was also worshipped by the Anglo-Saxons. To the point where some places in England are named after him, such as Winnisborough, which might have come from Woden's Hill. And of course, he's immortalized in the Western days of the week as the namesake of Wednesday. Odin is an interesting god because while he's associated with war, he's also tied to wisdom, magic, and healing, along with poetry. He's often depicted as one-eyed with a long beard, wielding his spear Gungnir, and riding the six-legged horse Sleipnir. He has many sons, but Thor is by far the most famous of them. In some myths, he took part in the creation of the world by slaying the giant Ymir and giving life to the first two humans, Ask and Embla, two names that might be familiar to you if you've played a certain Fire Emblem game. He'll lead the Einherjar, the souls of warriors who died in battle, at Ragnarok, but there he's fated to meet his doom at the jaws of the wolf Fenrir. In-game, Odin is another returning ultimate persona from P3. There, his signature skill was Thunder Rain, but now it's been passed on to his son, Thor. Instead, he now learns the ultimate wind skill, Pantaray. But he hasn't lost his Zeo skills completely, he just specializes in two elements now. Weirdly, his inheritance type is electricity, which means he can't inherit wind skills through fusion, but he already has most of the wind skills he needs. He's relatively low level for an ultimate persona in P4, and has a very high magic stat along with naturally learning Mind Charge and Wind Amp to boost the damage of Pantaray even more. This is also his skill card ability, which is decent to pass down to other wind-using personas, especially ones that already have wind boost. His main weakness is having no way of covering his weakness to fire, at least with his own skill set. With some clever fusing, you should be able to pass down fire immunity skills to him though. Overall, Odin's role in P4 is very similar to his role in other Persona games, being a source of massive magical damage, which makes him a decent ultimate Persona to fuse, especially since level 74 is not that high by ultimate Persona standards. Yeah, I don't think I need this anymore.
So as far as getting other people to understand me, today I'm holding the Oven Mitt Puppets 101 class right here. Don't worry, even you can do it. It'll be real cute. Believe me.
This just would be so much more fun with Nanako here, is the first thing that came to mind. I guess once she's out of the hospital, we can, show her the puppets we made. But so ends... Probably, it's that and Risei that are my two favorite social links in the game. That's definitely... it's hard to even say which one I like better. I think both of them are amazing, but I will say Kanji is like the one character in this game who I think is fantastically written both in the main story and in social links. I think Risei is pretty consistent across both too, but she does have a few bad moments in the comedy scenes. Kanji, though, I think Kanji is pretty much, apart from the points where he gets some bad things happening to him just because of association with the other guys, I generally think Kanji is almost never handled badly at any point in this game's writing. And we've now finished another book in the Man series. Today I think I'm going to go around school and talk to some people, because we haven't done that in a little while. Well, as Kanji says, you have to work hard to get other people to understand you. Everyone's scared of the fog, it seems. Yes, frequently. Raining for a while, that doesn't sound good. At least nobody's in the TV right now. Oh yeah, and that's probably your main hint, that Nanako's deadline is coming up. I think it's, the 20th. Oh yeah, that would not be good. Well, you know, even King Morin had his redeeming qualities. Does seem like the weather's been a little crazy lately. And everyone in town is kind of on edge. There actually are exams coming up if you check your calendar. Maybe you should ask him. Oh, if only they knew that they weren't just in a drama, they were in a murder mystery. Well, yeah, I kind of doubt anyone would really want to get into that. Oh boy, yeah, exactly what that person was saying on the first floor. Love is complicated and, stressful, and yeah. Or at least it can be. Yeah, I think you're still saying the same thing. And I don't know if Errand Boy and Spacey Girl are around town right now. Of course, Namatame isn't, because he's been arrested. He's referring to Miss Sofue, by the way. I kind of forgot to show the earlier parts of that subplot. But yeah, speaking of things that I was showing, I hope I didn't make things maybe too obvious by talking to Namatame in town whenever I could. I just always thought that was a nice detail, the fact that you can always see Namatame around. In fact, go back and see some of his reactions when Morooka died. He seemed surprised at that happening, so that's another hint that Morooka was a copycat. Oh, hi, Stalker. Well, yeah, you do whatever. I was just in my head thinking about how much worse it would be if she was obsessed with a different detective prince, but that is for years in the future, as of when this place is set. So what we're going to be doing today is we don't even need to save this time. We're actually going to be doing Mega Beef Bowl with all of our stats maxed. Because it is finally time to conquer our ultimate enemy. But we will persevere with our understanding to comprehend it as a whole, knowledge to set the proper pace, courage to attack the mountain of meat, and diligence to keep on eating. With all of these traits, we can conquer the meat dimension. Oh yeah, food fight. Well, that was totally useful, not. Finally, we eat for free, and we get the trophy food fighter for finishing the Mega Beef Bowl. I believe that this does require you to have all of your stats at least, apart from, I think, expression is the only stat that can't raise from this. I think you need all of them maxed in order to finish the Mega Beef Bowl. But with that, we sadly never need to eat at Aya ever again. mean, we can do it for fun every now and then, I guess. And so today, I guess, we can read another installment of the Man series, Man God. I believe the Man series actually does factor into the names of some of Kanji's moves in Persona 4 Arena.